Hey guys, welcome to another video. So I flew into Reykjavik, Iceland from Paris after my time in Morocco. I spent the first night camped at Reykjavik campsite, which was the 28th of June 2024. My first day, I just explored the city of Reykjavik, and then the day after, I caught the bus up to Landmannalaugar to start the Laugavegur trail. Hey guys, welcome to another video. I am currently in Hella, Iceland with Isaiah.
Yeah.
So we are on our way to the Laugavegur trail in Landmannalaugar. We're about halfway there, so we've got another few hours on the bus, and then we're going to be hiking for the next 4 or so days.
4 or 5 days, yeah.
All the way out to Skoga, so it's going to be pretty awesome. This is one of the best hikes in Iceland, so it's raining a little bit this morning, but it seems to have cleared up now, so hopefully it's not too bad. So we'll see you out on the trail. Okay, we have arrived in Landmannalaugar and it is about 11:30 and we're just starting to head up the trail. So we're walking the first 12 kilometers today up to the first hut, and the plan is to camp there. So the sign says 4 to 5 hours, so yeah, it should be pretty epic. It looks like some pretty amazing views coming up. Okay, we have arrived at the first campsite. This one. Not going to try and pronounce that. So we walked 12 kilometers today it took about 3.5 hours or something, and we climbed about 850 meters, I think the total was, so it was quite a big day. When we got up to the top, the trail was basically just covered in snow, so that was kind of annoying to walk through, but it wasn't too bad. And then the trail actually took me through like the middle of kind of a lake, which was interesting because it was all sloshy and like half melted snow, so it was pretty wet going through there. And now I'm just in my tent size up in the hut. So here it is really windy, still low visibility. Got a bit of a stone wall to protect the tent. I'll put another photo up from the outside. And yeah, so we're going to stay here tonight and then head down to a few campsites over tomorrow. We're going to walk about 26 kilometers, or it might be 28 even, something like that anyway, to get a couple of campsites further up. And yeah, so it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Morning. It is now 7:30 and we're just leaving the first hut on top of the mountain. So that's the campsite just back there. And today we're going to be walking about 27 kilometers or so to the third hut on from here. So it's going to be probably the biggest day. The weather's clearing up, but it's still pretty windy, so yeah, it's pretty cold. Got a lot of jackets on this morning, so it's about 12 kilometers to the first hut, so we'll probably aim to have lunch either there or the next one. It is just after 12:30 now, and we're just leaving the Alftavatn hut. So this is the second one. So it's taken us about 4 hours to get here from whatever the hut was called that we stayed at last night on top of the hill. Had some pretty epic views on the way down. Yeah, got some pretty cool photos, and so now we are going to be continuing on probably about another 15 kilometers to the second hut on from here. There's one that's only about 5 kilometers away, and then we'll probably go to the one after that, but yeah, we'll see how we feel. It is just before 10 p.m. now, and it's, as you can see, it's still daylight. So we're in the midnight sun period here in Iceland. So it does not get dark at all, which makes sleeping in a tent a little bit hard, but I've got a mask, so yeah, it's cool. So we walked about just over 26 kilometers today, so we did 2 days in one on what you're supposed to do on this trail. We had lunch at the hut that most people would stop at, and then they'd come here the day after. But it was good. So we actually got a ride with Thor, an Icelandic man, not too far from here, about 6 kilometers back. He took us a bit further down the road in his four-wheel drive, and then showed us a kind of a different way that was slightly quicker. It probably only really saved about 500 meters, but that was cool. So we got to go for a bit of a four-wheel drive around, and yeah, then we arrived here just after 5, so it was quite a big day, but some pretty epic views this morning. That was amazing. So tomorrow we're going to be heading down to Thorsmork, which is another 15 kilometers away. That's the hut. Got the campsite down there, so that's our tents. Just for reference, the hut costs about 160 New Zealand dollars, about 13 to 14,000 Icelandic krona. So they're pretty much the same as New Zealand huts in what they offer. They're all the same price. Camping costs 40 New Zealand dollars, about 3,200 Icelandic krona. So yeah, it's definitely not cheap, but it's not too cold to camp, so it's good. So about to go to bed, and then we will get moving tomorrow morning. It's just after 7 in the morning now, and we're just leaving the final hut on the Laugavegur trail. So today we're going to be walking up to Thorsmork. It's about 15 kilometers away, so should probably take about 4 or 5 hours or so. It should be mostly downhill. We've got one more river crossing near the end, and then through a bit of forest, and yeah, out to the end. Okay, it is just before 2 p.m. now, and I have arrived in Thorsmork. So that is the end of the trail over there, and that is also one of the mountain huts and campsites here. So today was about 16 kilometers, climbed about 500 meters, and it took about 5 hours. We actually got here at about 12, so yeah, just been chilling out over there. There's a little shop, and yeah, cool little area. So from here, Asaya is actually going to be catching the bus back to Reykjavik this afternoon in about an hour, so he's still back there. He injured his ACL not too long ago, so yeah, it's just not going to be a good idea to do the final day tomorrow. So we're just going to meet up in Reykjavik in 2 days. So I'm going to be catching the bus in a couple of days, and then yeah, we're going to be meeting up there and picking up a rental car after that. So currently I'm walking about another 2 kilometers from there. There's another campsite here in the valley, it's a little bit closer to where I need to start the trail tomorrow, so yeah, it makes sense to do that this afternoon, since it will be quite a decent walk tomorrow, about 24 kilometres, all the way out to Skogafoss. Okay, it is 9 PM now, and I have set up my tent just here at the Botnar campsite, which is in the Thorsmork Valley, about 2 kilometres from the end of the Laugavegur trail. So I'm on my own now. Going to stay here tonight and then walk out to Skoga tomorrow. So thanks for watching this video on the Laugavegur trail from Landmannalaugar to Thorsmork in Iceland. It was an amazing trail, definitely worth doing if you're here. Camping is definitely a lot cheaper than staying in the huts, but yeah, it would be nice to have a bit of luxury. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and as always there's a link to buy me a coffee in the description below if you want to help support my channel, and I will see you in the next video on the trail from Thorsmork to Skoga.